How is everybody doing? I hope you're doing well and having a Wellness Wednesday, having a wonderful Wednesday, having a, um, let me see, I don't know, what kind of Wednesday are you having? I got well, wonderful, and whimsical. That's a good one. Um, Anyway, my name is Anisa Wesley, and this is my YouTube channel. This is Faith and Footsteps, where we put our feet to our faith, where we walk it like we talk it, and we talk it while we walk it. Okay? And if you haven't been on my channel before, then welcome. Make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure that you turn on that notification bell, like this video, and share it with someone who needs it. And thank you for joining. If it's your, you know, second time or 50,000th time, super excited to have you. Super excited to be here with you all on this Wednesday. I went on maybe one time last week, and I'm gonna try to, possibly do more this week. But I'm here, and I feel like I have something to say today. So use your listening ears that I tell my son, and we're going to and open up your spiritual listening ears, okay? Because how many of you know you have spiritual eyes, you have spiritual ears, right? My husband, he's legally blind, but he can see better spiritually than a lot of people, right? So it's two different things, but both are important, right? So I wanted to come on briefly and talk about spiritual amnesia. It's something I've talked about before, but I feel like it's important to go over it again. So spiritual amnesia is kind of like regular amnesia, right? You ever watch the show, or maybe you've experienced it yourself, where someone wakes up in the hospital and they're like, where am I? Who am I? Who are you? And they've known the person their whole life, right? They don't remember what they did. Sometimes it could be short term, right? Where you don't remember what you did like yesterday, but you remember what you did years ago. And then sometimes it can be just like they forgot everything. And from my recall, amnesia is usually temporary, right? They can gain their, and I'm not a doctor, so hello, welcome from Brazil. Thank you so much for joining, everybody. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. But I believe in a lot of cases, they're able to regain their memories, right? With exercise, with, all these things. I'm watching a show where this lady lost her memory, but they're coming back, right? And so I believe that we can get spiritual amnesia. And it's kind of, it doesn't say amnesia in the Bible, but I believe that we can literally get spiritual amnesia and forget all the things that God has done for us, right? We can forget the ways that God has blessed us. We can forget the ways that God has challenged us, saved us, rebuked us. We can forget sometimes. And I think we go through, and myself included, I think we go through these periods of difficulty sometimes because of that spiritual amnesia. And so there's this place in the Bible, and I don't remember where it is right now, but I've talked about it a lot of times before where they're setting up something called stones of remembrance, right? And so it's this place where there's literally, good morning, where there's literally like stones of remembrance. And it's like, this is a stone for when God did this. And this is a stone for when God did this. And this is the stone. Do you remember? Right? And so as you walk down, and I'm doing this from memory, so go read that yourself. You can Google it. Stones of Remembrance, Stones of Jordan. But as they had those stones of remembrance, they were strengthened to remember who God is and what God has done in their life. Good morning. So, what are your stones of remembrance? My husband is going to love this. He loves to talk about stones of Jordan. He even has a song called Stones of Jordan, I think. But, so bring that back, Iron. But, what are your stones of Jordan? Right? Remember, everybody, welcome in. Remember to like the video, to share it, and don't forget to subscribe, okay? I have some wonderful things coming up in the next few months that I feel like God is telling me to talk about, and you don't want to miss it. So make sure you subscribe and you turn on your post notification. So, you may have to create some stones of remembrance. Maybe you need to post something on your bathroom mirror that God has done for you, right? Or on your computer laptop. You need to put one of your favorite scriptures that has gotten you through some really hard times. Maybe you need to remind yourself in a journal and have gratitude every day about God, what God has done for you. As I was walking today and about to start this live, I feel like I got a revelation about gratitude. Gratitude, part of it is, one, remembering all God has done for you and being grateful for where you are now. So looking around you and seeing the blessings of right now. No. Right? Looking around you and being able to, instead of zeroing in on what you don't have, you're really intentionally looking for what you do have. And I think this is also a part of contentment. And I did this years ago, 2015. I did this, was it 2015? It was a long time ago. That was like 11 years ago. But still, the things you did 11 years ago set you up for where you are today. Okay? So maybe this video is something you're watching right now, but in 11 years, you're going to be talking about your stones of Jordan and how somebody reminded you to have stones of Jordan, okay? Maybe you'll go on a journey to contentment like I did in 2015, where I literally sat myself down from talking to men because I was making becoming a wife an idol, right? I was romanticizing it. I felt disappointed that it hadn't happened yet, right? And I was not content. I was discontent. And so I went on this journey to contentment. Now, what I learned on that journey is that contentment is actually something that is learned. You can check Philippians 4, verse 11 through 13, right? Read the whole chapter though, because it is tea, right? But Yeah, I learned that during that time. And another thing I learned is that even though there was this discontentment in that season, there's also the lesson has to be kind of applied and relearned in every season of your life. So you have to find contentment in God in, in your life, in your current situation, in every season you go through. Um, and so I think that's so important. And contentment is not the same as complacent. Contentment means, like I said, you're in this moment, you're in this gratitude for where you are, and you're thankful for where you are, and you are contending. Oh, that's good. Come on, God. You are contending for where you're going, right? Come on. That's good. I got to look up that word contending, because contentment and contending are very close. And we contend for our faith, right? We fight for, we don't just sit in complacency in our lives. We fight, right? We fight in prayer. We're in a spiritual battle. I talk about that all the time and talk about putting on the whole armor of God. So, none less to say, right? I want you, this is your homework for me, because I'm almost done, right? I want you to write down your stones of Jordan, your stones of remembrance. You can go back as far, or as, it could be yesterday, it could be this morning, it could be right now. What has God done for you? This morning, I was reflecting on God's protection, right? He protected me even in my mother's womb, right? My mother could have gone and had an abortion. Matter of fact, she went and tried, but it didn't happen, right? God was protecting me from before I was even formed in my mother's womb, and I'm thankful for that. And if you're watching this, God was protecting you, right? And what about the growing up years? I have a toddler now. It is very fun and exciting, but there's so many things, right, that could have happened in my life that, could have changed things for me. And God protected me. So, again, I'm thankful for making it through those years, being cared for, having a loving family, having childcare, you know. So, not saying things are perfect, but I made it through. Praise God. So, thanks, Mom, if you're watching this, for, you know, letting me get through. Stay over there. Where are these dogs coming from? It's like two dogs. I'll be naming the dog. One name is Rodolfo. Naming the stray dogs. Anyway, yeah, so that's your homework. Get you a piece of paper, open your notes in your phone. I suggest doing it on paper because it does something to your brain. It like solidifies things for your brain. So if you can get it written down on a piece of paper, that would be great. And just write 10 stones of Jordan. What has God done for you in your life? And you're like, well, I don't think he's done anything for me in my life. Pray about it, right? Pray about it. What has got done? What can I be thankful for? What can I remember? A couple weeks ago, I even talked about the 10 lepers where Jesus had healed 10 of them, but only one came back to say thank you. Stones of Jordan is also about gratitude. When you forget what someone has done for you, ooh, this is convicting right here. When you forget what someone has done for you, it's like you're not grateful, right? So we have to intentionally remember. So don't get spiritual amnesia and, focus in on gratitude this week so that you can be aware of all of the blessings and all of the good that you have right around you, right in front of you. Okay? We all can focus on things we don't have yet. We all can focus on what hasn't happened yet. What we want, what's not perfect. But, and I mean, that's valid, right? But also, don't sit there. Try to make sure you go into gratitude as well. So, thank you all for joining me today. Make sure that you like this video, that you subscribe to my YouTube channel, because once I hit 1,000 subscribers, I'm bringing back my podcast, Brave Purpose. So make sure that you do that. Okay, and share this with someone who needs a stone of remembrance today. All right, remember, you have everything that you need to live your life bravely. And God has not given you a spirit of fear, but one of power, of love, and a sound mind.